guys, welcome back to Quinton's in the Gunga. Today we're doing load shedding. So if you don't know what load shedding is, you probably don't live in South Africa. Load shedding means that when the electricity grid can't handle all of the users, they need to cut some users out of the grid just to be able to maintain the electricity. So not enough electricity, you're probably gonna get cut off. There's different levels, meaning that at different times you're going to be cut off for different time frames. So yeah, that's load shedding in a nutshell. So what are you going to do during the load shedding? Well, you can't watch TV, you can't play on your computer. What else is there to do except for playing on your phone or tablet, on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube even? I'd say use that time productively by doing some exercises. So exercises specifically made for self-defense purposes. So I'd say number one, do dry firing. This is a great time to shut down and do some dry firing. If you don't know what dry firing is, I might do a video on the subject a bit later, later stage. Just some dry firing tips that I like to do. So dry firing means that you're going to take your weapon, making sure that it is empty and clear. You're going to depress the trigger like that, but doing that in a certain way to a target. So you're going to practice shooting without actually shooting. So this is a good way to save time and save money, and then also working on your trigger control, but also transitioning from targets here and there. So complete video that might follow at a later stage. Number two is getting to know your equipment. So as you saw in my introduction video, everyone runs a different setup. There's no setup that's right and no setup that's wrong. If you can defend your life with that setup is successful. Some setups are just better in certain aspects than others and maybe a bit easier to use, but everyone's different, everyone has different gear. So get to know your gear, play around with it, making sure that it is safe. So make sure that there's no ammunition in your firearm and no ammunition in the close proximity. So just a bit of caution and some intellect will keep you and your family safe during this time. So getting to know your gear. Number three is getting to know your house. So especially with the interior, who knows your house better than you? Well, no one, suppose. So what this means is you need to do some house clearances, practicing the drills, going through your house looking for bad guys. Now there's certain areas that you want to use this strategy and certain areas that you just want to hunker down during a home invasion. So specifically for this is you're not always alone in your room. You might have family members in another room. They might scream. You need to go looking for what's making them scream or what's wrong in the house. So if you do know that there's an intruder in the house, you need to be trained, number one, and you need to be careful, number two. So you need to be able to do house clearances, know where the blind spots are. So you need to know where the bad guys might be hiding. So some areas and some places might be easier to clear than others, but it's important to get training on this. Just watching YouTube videos and listening to me isn't enough. You need to get to a reputable organization with reputable instructors that actually know what they're talking about with CQB stuff. So if you don't know in your area, South Africa preferably, if you don't know in your area who to contact, you're welcome to send me a private message and I'll send you on the right path. So now that you know your house, you actually know your house better than usual in complete darkness. So if you don't have any lights around, or just place some lights here and there that you do normally, it does help you out. But this simulates if you have a home invasion during the night with all the lights are off. What are you going to do? You need a flashlight, because in complete darkness you can't guess what you're going to engage. You need to identify your target and make sure that it's not a loved one that you are pointing your firearm at. So making sure that the right person is in front of your muzzle, you need a flashlight. That's why I recommend having a flashlight on your bedside table and having a flashlight on your firearm itself. So everyone has different firearms. Not all firearms can take weapon mounted lights, but if it can, this may be something to look into. So if you at least have a flashlight next to your bed and you've got your firearm, then you can identify and work wherever you want to and work those corners to identify the threats inside a room. So getting to know your house in complete darkness, that's a major bonus, because if something goes bump in the night, it's probably going to happen in the hours of between 12 and 2 o'clock, or between 2 and about 5 o'clock. It's all different times, but after 12, 1 o'clock, that seems to be the peak of activity for home invasions. So in that, the house is going to be complete darkness. You're already trained, and the mind has less things to process. So you need to remember that you're going to wake up and feel completely groggy. You're not going to be completely awake, so the main thing is just get your bearings first and then mission on. Your body knows what to do. You've gone through this a couple of times, so less thinking, and you can do this in a relatively safe manner. That's it, guys. Not an elaborate video about what to do, where to do it. This is just tips that I've been doing during the load shedding in the evenings when I can't do anything else, because sitting on Instagram or sitting on YouTube or sitting on Facebook doesn't feel like productive time. So this is what I've been doing during the load shedding period, and I think this is time actually well spent. So all of the flashlights featured in the introductory video, that's all from Torch SA, so you can get all of them on the Torch SA website. I've got a discount code that should be in the link in the description, and this is the newest one that I've got my hands on today actually, but you'll probably see the video tomorrow. This is the Brunite. This is the Oathkeeper PT18 Pro. So this was mounted in all of the big rifles, my hunting / sport shooting rifle, and also my AR. So this is something that I'm really keen to test out and give a bit of a beating to. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please use this time for load shedding not as a time to complain on Facebook about it, but use it productively. Hope you have a good one. Cheers, guys.